So, welcome to International Women in Leadership, the I Will virtual podcast. We have these events about once a month, and I'm going to share a little bit more about what is International Women in Leadership, right? And so, our goal today is we're going to interview an amazing woman who's sitting here next to me. But those of you that want to join the I Will movement and International Women in Leadership, I'm going to tell you a little bit about who we are. So my name is Regina Batista. And the next slide, you can see, if you want to look me up on LinkedIn, I'm the founder and president of International Women in Leadership. I'm passionate about helping people. And this is a great group where we bring amazing women in leadership professionals from across different industries to talk about amazing topics about resilience, about how can we help each other out, how can we build each other up, and what are we struggling with, and what are the things that we need to be there for each other and support each other with, right? Please, if you can, feel free to scan this. I'm going to ask Josue to put the iwillleaders.com website on the chat. Please follow us on the website. You'll see all of our upcoming events, as well as in LinkedIn. I'm under International Women in Leadership. And under Instagram, we're also under International Women in Leadership as well. Okay. But the website is iwillleaders.com. And then Josuel, in a little bit, he's going to help me put that on the chat. Next slide. All right. So what is our vision? We envision a world where women, irrespective of borders and boundaries, stand shoulder to shoulder as powerful leaders, catalysts of change, and architects of their own destinies. We want to own our destinies. Our vision is to create a global community where every woman is empowered to break barriers, elevate her potential, and excel in leadership. But it's not just for women, because a lot of men come to our event and they also come out super inspired as well. So, what is the I Will movement? I will is an intention, right? Mm-hmm. It's a movement. So we will have an exercise at the end of today where I'm going to ask each of you to come up with your own I will statement. I will do something. I will something. Think about something maybe related to the topic we're going to talk about today, or something of like a goal that you're trying to reach in your personal life. We always end up all of our events with that exercise. So start thinking about it, just food for thought. But we actually have an empowerment manifesto. And so this is it. I will empower, I will rise, I will lead, I will excel, I will connect, I will persist, and I will inspire. Okay. Now, your I will is very personal to you. So at the end of the event, get ready for that exercise. This is just some pictures to share. These are some of both our in-person events and also our virtual events. So I have a quick trivia for you guys. Trivia, where do you guys think we're at today? Can anybody see where do you guys think we're physically at today?
Northeastern University.
Exactly. There you go.
You should get a prize.
I want one of those mugs. No, I'm kidding.
There you go. And then I thought we were a little bit too far away from the camera, and I was going to start going like this so you guys could see it closer. But yes, we are at Northeastern University. My approach for the last couple of sessions was to try to do something in person where we can connect a little bit more. And hopefully that whole live and in-person virtual format approach works for all of you, because we're here by ourselves and you guys are all out there. So you give us feedback on that when you get a chance, please. All right, great job. All right, next slide. All right, so we have what we call I Will advisors and mentors for International Women in Leadership. If you all are interested, please reach out to me. Marilyn is actually very fortunate, one of our I Will advisors and mentors. We also have Empowerment Circle champions that help facilitate many of the online and in-person meetings that we have. So welcome. Okay, so every month we have a different I Will challenge. The month of June is I Will Build AI. And so I wanted to share something with you guys. For sure, we're talking about AI today, in her area of expertise. So I'm very excited about that. But this whole month, if you guys can please follow us on Transformation Experts on LinkedIn, we've had a series of events. And I just wanted to show something real quick. Because the whole month of June, the challenge is I Will Build AI. We actually had a great event last Friday. Many of you were able to attend. For those of you that were not able to attend, I just want to share a little bit of what we're doing in this community. I was going to ask Josue if he can go to LinkedIn real quick, show a little bit so I can tell the story of what's been going on. So last Friday, we hosted the AI Revolution virtual conference. And we had speakers virtually from across the country presenting on different AI topics, but we did something very special. In the morning, we had an executive breakfast in person in Miami, Florida. And this is the pictures of the executive breakfast that you guys could see there. We had C-level executives talking about what does it take to build an AI transformation in your organization. It was a workshop. It was hands-on. And so what we did is at the end of that workshop, which was from 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., we kicked off the AI conference with the report out of all these executives and what they talked about in the workshop. And we've never done that before. But this is David. He was actually the keynote. We kicked off the executive breakfast in the morning. And then, Josue, if you can show a little bit of then we went into a full day of amazing speakers. Here are some of the speakers. We're just gonna kind of scroll through and the different breakout rooms that we had. And then after each of the speakers, we posted their topic. So it was quite exciting, as you guys could see there. We're going to put in the chat the website if you want to check it out. We're doing this again in September. It is going to be virtual. And so AIC305.com. So in September, we're going to do again the executive breakfast, a full day AI Revolution conference. And then on Saturday, we're actually going to do an AI workshop. And so we're getting all of that ready for you guys. Any questions? And Josue's going to put the AIC305.com on the website on the chat. Okay, so I Will Build AI is the challenge. All right,
That is the challenge for this month.
Is the challenge for this month. So for my International Women in Leadership podcast, I chose to pick this amazing woman, this amazing leader, to talk about AI in the industry that she works in. But I have known Marilyn. Oh my God, Marilyn! I have known you for how long now?
Many, many, many years.
Many, many, many years. I think close to like 10 years. I think about 10 years, right?
Yeah.
And great, amazing background in project management. I think if there is a project management certification out there, she's got it. She's got all of them. She collects them, and she's selling them on the side for free too, as well. And so I'm very excited. So Josue, I think we're recording already. If you can stop sharing and then maybe highlight our in the gallery, let's do that. Because I really want to get close and personal with Marilyn here. So
thank you. She's an amazing woman inviting me. Thank you.
It's an honor to have you. So there's a lot about Marilyn that I actually learned recently. So I'd love to give us a little bit of your background that I think a lot of people don't know. Like, where are you from? Where were you born? Let's start with that.
I was born in Taiwan, Taipei. And as you know, Taiwan does not belong to China. It didn't wish to be my friend. So that is a joke. So I usually say that because people are confused about China, maybe Taiwan may be part of it, but no, right now it's still separate, thank God. And I came to this country to get my computer science degree in Utah State University.
Oh, in Utah.
That was a long time ago. And that time, the green card was a little bit easy to get. However, unless you have a company who sponsors you, usually they did not even look at your resume. So I was fortunate enough that professor in Miami to say, oh, let me see your resume. And then this company looked at my resume and said, why don't you come? And they said, did you graduate yet? Not yet. Why don't you wait till you graduate and you could come? So after 6 months, they actually wait for me for 6 months to come to Miami and to start my new job.
But you went to school in
Utah State.
Utah State. Mm-hmm. So were you going to school already in Taiwan? And then
it's a graduate. I got a master's degree in computer science in Utah State.
In Utah State. Mm-hmm. Amazing. And then you ended up getting a job here.
Yes, in Miami, and then Carnival Cruise Lines, and then public sector, Broward County. And now I'm teaching as a professor in Northeastern University.
So with a computer science degree, did you start out as a developer?
Yes, I was a developer.
Wow. And then how did you end up in project management? Tell me about that journey.
So anybody who was a developer background. Okay, let me tell you. Developers like that, they are very concentrated, focused. Right? This is what they see, because you get their requirement, they just design whatever you ask them to. And they never really have fun, in my opinion.
So they have fun or they don't have fun?
Well, I don't think they have fun. Not that kind of fun.
Any developers out there that are like, wait a minute, we're the ones actually having fun?
That could be the design after design, right? After the result, that could be fun. But then I found that the project manager is like the animals that has what's the name of the animals have eight arms? Octopus.
Oh, the octopus.
That's why I feel they are so talented. All the PMs have so many talents: communication, leadership, and even engage stakeholders and how they see the things. Dashboard, they can say, "Oh, there's a problem, the issues, and all that." I thought, wow, I want to be like them. I don't want to be the only person that writing the code and that's the only thing you do in front of the computer for 8 hours. So, and that's why I changed my career. So I want to be like her, a project manager, because I think that's more fun. And you can really learn more about the business from different divisions and all that.
All right, no, great point. Mm-hmm. So when you were doing that, you were already living,
yes,
were already
I was
living
in Miami already, yes.
Amazing. Do you still have family in Taiwan?
Yes, I have siblings in Taiwan and all my nieces and nephews in Taiwan.
Amazing. So what was that the shift in your career, or was there something that you were like, okay, I no longer want to do this. This is what I want to do now. Like when was that moment where you're like, I need to shift in my career?
So let me tell you, my first job, you forgot to ask me this. My first job actually is accounting, because I had accounting in bachelor, and I never really want to tell anybody because I feel like, oh, accounting is challenging, right? So I started my career staring at the numbers and how I spent in making, but then now I feel like I spent it making sure project managers don't lie. Project numbers don't lie. The same job, just different drama. So I feel like that is better than being an accountant, because accounting, is all the numbers and all that. And I remember at school, just for 5 cents, we spent 2 hours to figure out why 5 cents is missing. I was even told my professor, can I just give you 5 cents? Make it balance. So I think that's the reason I switched my career as computer science and then later project.
All right, so you want to know a secret about me? So I have a similar situation.
Oh, really?
So I also went to school for accounting, and halfway, and no pun intended to accountants are great. They're amazing. But halfway through my degree, I was like, I don't think this is what I want to do for a living. It's just way too tedious and way too many numbers. I finished the degree, and then I ended up getting a second degree in information systems, right? And it's so funny because as soon as I took my first information systems class, it was computer science, but it was a mix of also information systems. It was like a project work, and then I signed up to be the leader of the project. It just happened naturally, even though at that time, when you're in school, when you're young, you really don't have the vision of what type of work this can turn into, but very similar, very, very similar.
That is interesting.
And my first job out of school was an accounting job. And I'm gonna just be honest. I got fired in the first 6 months, but I hated it. And I was like, thank you, God, thank you for firing me, because It was just not good. And then as soon as I went into information systems type of work, it just happened and it just flowed. But again, accountants are great. I have a lot of great accountants friends out there. So
But I just want to say something about, I wish I
Yeah.
love accounting because all my classmates, they become CPA.
yes.
So I wish I was
And
staying.
they're making a lot of money too. As CPAs.
Yes, there's a difference between CPA and what I'm doing. So, but
Amazing.
all good.
So that's a lot that I didn't know about you and that you didn't know about me either. So we're learning from
Yes.
each other, even though we've known each other for like 10 years.
Yes, yes.
Amazing. So thank you so much for supporting the International Women in Leadership community. We've been able to do a lot of events at Northeastern University because you're now a professor here. So how did that happen?
Oh, I just love to teach. And maybe some of my friends in the Zoom, the virtual world will believe that, yeah, Marilyn likes to talk to people about project management and all that. And that's how I came about. And I don't know, other than teaching, project management could be a little bit boring. Did you know I'm also a fitness instructor? To me, that is more exciting than this. And that's how I started it. Actually, I started teaching as a fitness instructor. And then when they said, would you like to come to teach a project management? And I said, I can do that. If I can teach people how to dance and all that, I probably easily to be able to teach project management, which could be a little bit boring subject.
Okay. But that's something I found out about her the other day, that she's a fitness instructor. Did anybody else know this about Marilyn? And there's some of you online that have known Marilyn for years. So how do you have time for all of this, Marilyn?
Did you know somebody make a statement and said, Marilyn, you probably have 36 hours. But because I'm passionate what I do, so I feel like I can really squeeze all my times. And of course, I also volunteer in the PMI South Florida. So yeah, all my time and all that. PNP cohort, I am one of the mentors.
Yes.
And I also volunteer as a board.
But you were also president of the PMI. That's
I was.
That's a space that I met you years ago.
Yes,
but I think being a fitness instructor is so much more fun.
I think so too. And then some of you probably don't know, and maybe you don't know. I teach Pilates, yoga, strength training, and indoor cycling. I have a few friends here.
Can we look? She's got muscles. She's got muscles.
I do. And then so on given weeks, I strike. My husband likes to take my Pilates, and Ayana also in my class too. In each track of my class, usually we have a sexy pose. So I thought that is very, very good because it could be kind of fun. And also, I like to teach people when you do anything, you need to do like nobody's watching you.
I like that.
Right.
I like that. So when you do anything, do it like nobody's watching you.
And then, so with your own mind.
Yes.
That's very important.
Amazing. No, thank you so much. I know that project management has been your career. Oh my God, for a long time.
Yes.
So you've got project management, program management, portfolio management. Can you name all the certifications? I can't. You name them.
I also have a PMO CP certified professional.
Amazing.
Yeah. And we learn actually, definitely she's also part of it too. We are studying together. It's our journey that was like almost 2 years, right? So
is it true that to have all the PMI certifications, you have to be a really good test taker?
I think so. That's like a skill. I think so. It's not easy. That I think the goal is to have somebody to brainstorm studying. That is very important. Not doing yourself and then talk about this whole community, because the goal is to help each other, right? I help you, you help me, and we all get what we want.
So let's talk a little bit about your experience in project management, because a lot is changing. A lot is changing from the traditional project management. I was a PMO manager as well, 15 years of project management. And then my story is I met an Agile coach that changed my life. So I'm an enterprise Agile coach. But the skills that I learned in project management, I carry that with me every single day. There's a lot of leadership skills there, a lot of organizational skills there. We always say as Agilists that background has helped us tremendously, right? Because it's just the gaining of those leadership skills that has helped us even be better Agilists as well. But the world is changing. We have AI now.
So what should we do?
What should we do, guys? There's a shift now in all of our careers. We talked about her amazing background, a lot of what I've done, a lot of where you guys are at right now with your different careers and your different backgrounds as well. We are at a pivoting moment right now where everyone has to now put on a different perspective, a different hat. We sort of have to change our mindset. How do you tell me personally how you feel about the shift in the industry right now with everything that's happening with artificial intelligence?
I think this is a very exciting journey, in my opinion. I think AI is revealing who the really leaders are. Why do I say that? Let me tell you. When the status report is automated and the risk analysis is handled by a tool, so what's left? Leadership, relationship building, coaching your team, and stakeholder trust and communication. So AI is essentially stripping away the administrative camouflage, right? And expose the core that what it means to be a project leader. So we right now, take this opportunity, if you are hiding behind process, we have nowhere to hide. The people who were always fundamentally about serving their teams and driving outcome, they are the one going to shine. So what are you? Where are you? Are you going to be behind it, AI? Or are you going to say, I'm just going to adopt it, embrace it, and take advantage of this new technology to enhance our performance and help us to do the things that is important?
So I love that. I know we always have a term that we use a lot called servant leadership, right? But your interesting take on, yes, sometimes as leaders, and it's not just in project management, we are sometimes very much overwhelmed by our daily tasks and everything that we have to do. I mean, we've had apps before that help us, right? Current state apps. But there's a lot of things, processes and procedures that have been done manually. So are you seeing that shift then in our daily tasks to now be more scheduled, now have agentic AI helping us out with that? Tell me a little bit about what you've seen happening.
So let me tell you, that's funny you said that. We had a PMO AI summit on Thursday, and we had about 990 people registered. So I asked our project managers to say, hey, can you give us the report? I want to see how many people registered and the feedback we got. I know Dr. VC is one of our speakers in our PMO AI. So thanks to you. People enjoy very much, right? And I want to know the status of what happened at the conference, the event. Did you know within 5 minutes, I wanted to show you this. Maybe I should post it. The gentleman who is our PM, he gave me a beautiful report, Regina. And he said, it took me 5 minutes to give you the report that you're asking. The numbers, how many people registered, the satisfactions, people who came. And then also the revenue, how much we spend, how much we generated within 5 minutes. But if I were the one to do that, it's going to take me maybe 10 hours in the past. But you AI, you need to take advantage of the tools. How can you help you to do all that? I don't know if you can see it, but you know the drill.
That's amazing. I know that again, going back to the true project management role, right? All of the status reports that are scheduled to be done weekly, you have multiple stakeholders asking for the same information in multiple different formats, right? Depending on the different departments that they're in, this is executives asking for this, right? So are we seeing the organizations now being open to opening up the doors security-wise? I know we got Dr. Hedrich here, right? To allowing the different departments to use a lot of these different tools for the reporting?
I think yes and no.
Okay.
So in the Broward County, well, I don't mind saying this. When AI 2 years ago okay, we're going to use AI, just even the ChatGPT. Do you know how long took them to write the governance? 2 years to review the governance with the policies, procedure, how you use it.
Yeah.
So, but that is important. Remember, AI could be running wild. you need to have a guardrail around it, right? So I think that a lot of companies are open and run our stuff. You can use Copilot to create the report status, the summaries of all your any action item for the meetings. And I think we really need to embrace it. So as a project manager, you just need to focus that thing that is important, such as motivate your team. Did you think in a meeting, AI could be able to read somebody is in trouble? In your opinion? Probably not, right? Unless you have a facial scanning to find out whether your teammates in a meeting you have some kind of personal issue. AI won't be able to do that. But we are the one going to be able to do that. Like AI also, we as a project manager should be able to like critical thinking, right? Empathy, emotional intelligence. We need to focus on that. And of course, the strategic thinking is the one we also need to make sure we have that.
And then learning on continuing to have the same knowledge of the business, right? Because the information and the data that might be going out may not be correct. So you actually need somebody to review all of that, right? We can't just give it out 100% to the automation process or the agentic AI because we own it at the end of the day. And you're still a project manager, right? You're still that owner of the project that has to speak up when something goes wrong. Nobody's going to call the AI and be like, hey, you messed up on this. It's going to be the person behind the scenes.
Very, very true. Well, funny you say that because I have been requested to teach leadership. And then they asked me, oh, can you give me something like that? So I asked, I have to admit, I did not do everything myself. I have a friend, Clark. I use Clark, and then he's my best friend right now. I call him Frankie. My husband said, are you sure you want to call him something else? But I like Frank, this name. So his name is Frankie. So I asked Frankie to give me, okay, I give it a very framework, right? I want to have that's 8 hours of this, and the content is I give you a very bullet point. Give me a report after 10 minutes. And I look at it and said, what are you talking about? I think you're lying. That is not true. You should not say that. And I gave a feedback. I said, give me again. So I did this back and forth, the AI prompt. I think it's so important. We need to give the AI the right information. And you need to review the result in order to make sure it's accurate. And one of the things says that, oh, you were saying that, oh, you are the award-winning speakers. And I said, says who? He said, well, based on your credential, I think you should be a award-winning speaker. And I said, but that is not true. Scratch that. So AI had to regenerate. My friend Frank has to regenerate it. So that is so important. We own the information, the result that AI gave out to us. So that you say you can blame AI as a whole. Frankie, you are the one give me this information. And then when your boss mad at you or criticize your report, you're not going to say, oh, because AI is fault, it's not mine. Because you had owned it, the result. There's the consequences.
How about financials? Any progress that you've seen in the calculation of financials? That's been another painful reporting area on the project side.
Are you talking about the finance, how to do the
budgeting for the projects?
AI actually is faster, right? In the past, we have so many people registered for the last event. Within 5 minutes, he will be able to calculate the number, do performance index and the matrix and all that. Definitely, AI can help us, and we need to embrace that.
Totally.
And that's the reason, my husband said, I'm glad you did not go into accounting because continue this career because you don't know, maybe AI can help you to do all that.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I know everybody's afraid of their roles disappearing. Again, in the project world, and this is not just for project managers, it's also for Scrum Masters, right? Leaders in that technical and even product management, product owners as well. Do we see some of those roles shifting also coming up in the near future?
Yes, well, some people say the Scrum Master might be gone. In my opinion, probably won't be. There's some extent to the degree. This is my personal opinion, of course. Right? Some of the processes you can automate, but some you still have to be human in the loop. Like I mentioned earlier, if your teammate has a trouble at home, AI won't be able to detect emotion that we need to motivate, right? Like you mentioned earlier about the servant leadership. So we we have to has to be have a human touch, and that is important. Before I said that, did you know one time I went to a meeting and I did not like the feeling. I don't know, have you ever experienced that? If you have, kind of raise your hand. I was in a meeting and then after 5 minutes, I said, "Hi, everybody." Nobody said anything.
Was it
And
virtual?
I said,
Virtual,
yeah,
or in
it's virtual. But I saw like 10 people in a room actually, and but nobody said anything. So when I look carefully, I saw everybody said AI, and nobody responds. So I feel so crushed. So thinking about, imagine in the future, like you said, did you think you want to go to a meeting like only AI is listening and nobody give you interaction? What happened? And then you want to just social talk, right? It will be challenging. So yes, it might be shift, but we have to somehow bring AI as our teammates and make us one of our very talented teammates to help you to do the things that you don't want to do. And you just focus on the things that's important, such as conflict resolution, engage your stakeholders, and then review any risks and the issues that you feel like you need to raise to your stakeholders, right? So that is the one we need to focus on.
Yeah, I'm excited about the new skills that we're going to need to learn, right? Both on the business and the technical side. And even the folks that did not consider themselves to be technical, now you can do a lot and without knowing how to code, right? So a lot of the tools that are out there are going to allow us to get things done without having to have those type of skills. And you can still build amazing products and analyze things. I know that some of the other conversations that have been having was what's going to happen to the implementation teams. You can call them development teams, you can call them agile teams, cross-functional. What is that going to look like in the future? I think that's another question that everybody has, right? Are they going to be a team of AI agents, right? Doing all the development and doing all the testing and going through the software development lifecycle? Are we going to see a hybrid? And what are the folks that are orbiting around that, the human in the loop? What are those roles going to look like?
So I want to everybody's picture is, I talked to one of the gentlemen in the AI PMO AI Summit, and it is their AI company. He said this, I'm going to partner with this company. Imagine this, you are the project manager, portfolio managers, a PMO, and you manage 10 projects. And each project will have an agent helping you. So the only thing you need to do as a project manager is manage them. But you need to be able to manage them. You need to understand the language. Mm-hmm. You don't need to be a data science. Okay, that's not what I'm trying to say. But you need to understand and how to engage them and take advantage of their skills. This AI agent to help you do your work. Yes.
So I've been lucky enough to have been attending for the last couple of months some product management conferences. And so they're talking about the implementation of the AI agent as projects, but it's product managers that are now coming in because they have to build the skills, they have to build the roles, and build that for the different type of products that they're doing. So that's been interesting. We also have been hearing a lot about new roles coming up that are a hybrid between the more technical and the more business savvy, which is that orchestrator. This is a human, the orchestrator, that knows a little bit how to manage the AI agents, how to build that, how to monitor that, right, and help with that area. And at the same time, they're business focused, and they have that. So more to come on that. We're probably going to be doing some meetups, talking a little bit more about what that new role is going to look like in the future. Google has started creating some of the new roles as well. You'll see that more coming up. So it's interesting. I think the excitement of, okay, what do we need to learn? How can we position our skills? And again, going back to the leadership skills, going back to the coaching, going back to we're gonna need to be the subject matter expert in this transition space for companies, right? Because they want to get there super fast, but then they still have to deal with the people and figure out what are their existing roles going to turn into as well. So I think there's some leadership opportunities, some good new roles opportunities in that space.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to use it. At beginning, I have noticed that people keep thinking AI is going to replace us, right? Trust me, it's not going to. We need to really embrace this change. And to me, just like when I teach a class, I told my husband, how are you going to build muscles? Meaning you work to the time attention and you feel like you're such in pain and you grow, right? Same thing with this arena right now, people talking about AI. Just think about it, maybe find a solution, find a problem you try to solve. It's just me. You have to find a problem you want to solve and try to solve it. And my most challenge, I remember the very beginning of my career, I had to write many, many project charters. And do you know how many times I had to have somebody else like Ayana or David, or can you read my charter? Proofread it before I can send it over. But now I don't need that anymore. I just say, okay, AI, can you help me to read this to make sure it makes sense? And it give me a lot of information, right? So that is one of the things that I think we should really embrace it. The AI can help us to do a whole bunch of stuff. So find a solution, find a problem you want to do it, and then find a solution to solve it.
An experiment. So
Yes,
other on Friday at the executive breakfast, one of the keynotes that we had there was talking about how our mindset now has to be like what it might have been like when we were like 20 years old, right? Being in that constant learning mode. And it's interesting because I sort of find myself at that point now. I mean, I'm in the latter part of my career, but now I'm like, oh my God, like I'm actually excited about all the things that I'm learning. But it's sort of like being open also to not knowing, and then just having that mindset of when we were like back in school, back in the day. Which I think it's pretty exciting for most. I think we should look at it as an opportunity to reinvent ourselves, right? And that's where resilience comes in.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you a question because I got to shift this a little bit and keep it fun. What is your definition of resilience?
What is my definition of resilience?
Miss Marilyn, what is that?
So resilient is not bouncing back. It is bouncing forward. The version of me, it's interesting, right? The version of me that comes up the other side of a hard thing is not trying to return to who I was before. I try to figure out what I learned. So for me, resilience looks like a 3 days movement, whether that's yoga, lifting weights, or screaming encouragement at the people in the stationary bikes in the indoor cycling, all of which I teach. Especially also I don't know, I'm also a Rotarian, so Rotary community, who remind me there is a world bigger than me, my inbox, and a very clear sense of why I do this work, right? When this why is solid and how it becomes a easy problem, and I'm very good at logistics. So also strength training has learned lessons that applies directly to the leadership. Do you know that? Progressive overload. Anybody likes to do weight training? And Ayana, she has a trainer. She said, oh, my legs hurt every single time, but her legs getting stronger. The idea that you get stronger by consistently taking or slightly more than comfortable, not so much break, just enough to grow, right? I think it's a career strategy we need to embrace.
I love it. And also in our personal lives as well.
Yes, definitely.
Right. So I love your definition of resilience. Let me feel that muscle again. Again, we got to build our muscles, our physical and our mental muscles, but also our emotional, emotional IQ, right? As well, right? Because that's what helps us with that bouncing forward. Can you think of a time in your life where you went through something difficult, right? And your resilience was tested? And what did that look like? And what did that look like after the fact?
I have a time I had to challenge. And I said, oh, I need to quit. But then they said, so why else you just quit and stay there and cry? I said, no, I need to do something to make me bounce back. Remember, we are not bouncing back, we're bouncing forward. So, and I also know that somebody is also counting on me. But just imagine if I said, oh, I'm done, I give up. Then the people around me go, oh, even you gave up, and we should give up too, right? So just like even I know someone is counting on me either pass to their PMP. Like we have a cohort, we have 15 people pass their PMP since January.
Oh my
For
God.
PMI, yes.
Uh-huh.
And to land the promotion or to lead through a hard season, you don't get luxury of staying down long. And the people keep you accountable. To others has pulled me through more than I can care to admit. And people will say, Marilyn, and they start counting the things I have done in the past that you can do this. And also I usually like to do the fitness and also this PM role kind of connect together. Just like you teach, when I teach fitness classes, do you know it's very hard for prolonged stress spiral when you are in a stationary bike coaching 20 people through a hill climb at 7. Actually, I taught 5:30 in the morning, or spotting someone on their first heavy squat, right? Or leading 20 people through a pop Pilates sequence that ends in the pose that I can hardly describe as dramatically fabulous. So every single one of the things force you to become completely present. No room for overthinking. And I recommend all of them, that mentally, like you said, physically, and then we all need to combine this, especially.
So, Marilyn, when do you rest? Because you're like at 100 miles per hour. She's like 36-hour days.
I have 36 hours actually a day. I don't know, you know.
You told me that. Yes.
Yeah, I have 36 hours a day. But I go, well, I don't know. I just feel I have so much energy. I want to do a lot of things that, and I have a to-do list every day. Even now, I have a to-do list. I need to complete this, even prepare the talk today, right? And why do I have so many times? Because I think schedule. Oh, no, I have my AI to help me, talk to me about today what I need to do. And AI give me a list of things. And what is important, let me know. I need to go to make it in the town. So I think that take advantage of the AI is good too. And yes, I do enjoy it. And I go to sleep at night. So do not call me at the night.
Oh, at 9 p.m. And at what time do you wake up?
5.
Oh, so you're one of
So I do have time.
She gets a good sleep. I'm a late sleeper and I'm a late waking up in the morning. I'm like the opposite for sure. Some more fun questions for you. What's the best piece of advice that you have received?
The best piece of
one of the many,
many. So let me tell you, I don't know I have told anybody about this. When I was in Utah State and I was applying to be a TA, and PTA, you need to pass English, right? And I failed. So because in order to get as an international student, some of it probably are international students when we were here, we have to pay 3 times of the in-state tuition. So if you pay 100, I pay 300. And but if you're a TA, you pay the same amount as in-state tuition. So I failed that exam because I forgot what it is. They were asking you questions or something. And then once I was crying, I called my mom. I said, Mom, I failed this exam. I couldn't believe I failed it. It's just the English. What is this? Do you know what she said to me? She said, now you have 1 year to practice, right? I said, that's true. So because my mother said that, I believe never give up. No, don't give up. You might take a while to recover, but don't give up because you don't even know just for that. When I talk to people, when they take PMP exam, the question maybe when you started it, this exam is so hard. Right? I think it has that experience. You feel this question is so hard, but maybe around the corner, the next question is so easy. You say, within 5 seconds, you can pick the answer. So same thing in life. When you have a challenge, thinking about what you need to do next. And the one thing is never give up. Get up and continue.
And do it again. And then I know that when I started working in the Agile space, one of the biggest impacts to my personal life that I learned from agility was failing fast. And that it was a good thing to fail. Okay. Because I came from the traditional corporate world where failure was a bad word. And I had been a leader in that space for a long time. So for me, when I got into the Agile space, I was like, oh, we can experiment. Oh, we can fail fast. And then it's all about the learnings. And it's just a shift in the conversation, which is really good. And being transparent, Like, yes, I failed, but then this is what I learned. And being able to be in a culture that you're able to have that conversation with leadership, for me, that was a game changer. Just personally, how I felt as a leader, that was very empowering for me.
I'm glad you said that because we talk about the leadership, right? So if a leader, you need to cultivate that team, set up that environment, allowing people to fail.
Yes.
And oftentimes people don't want to. They feel like, oh, if I fail, I don't want to tell my PM, I don't want to tell my leaders because I will get mad at it and people are going to look down at me. But so as a leader, we need to be able to have that environment, safe place for people to say, okay, that is okay, you failed. Get up and continue.
And be vulnerable as a leader to share when you have failed, because we have to live by example, right? I think that's definitely key. Going back to AI, just I wanted to share again. I've had the privilege of attending a lot of different conferences in the last couple of months. It's been a great learning opportunity. I went to the Atlassian conference this past month, and that was amazing. Atlassian now has the Robo AI. And so the whole conference was just about the AI functionalities that we now can use in Confluence and in Jira. And so for a lot of the teams that I've been supporting in the last couple of years, Jira has been one of the main tools that we have been using. We've been customizing the heck out of Jira, customizing not just the team spaces, but also Confluence a lot.
Mhm.
And now with the AI functionality that it has, it's able to now build any type of report that you need in Confluence. It's able to grab information from all the different team spaces, and then it's able to connect with all the different tools outside. So in the AI space, what we're seeing now, especially with the MCP server functionality, right? It's that integration that when we do have like a centralized AI tool, that they say it's where most of your information is, to have the ability to connect to all the other tools and have now the agentic AI capability that can grab data and build any of the type of reporting, that I was like, it was mind blowing for me, right? So I'm going to put in a plug-in. We are having a RoboCon in Miami in October. We are bringing Atlassian to Miami, and we're doing an Atlassian Robo AI event on October 17th. That is going to be an in-person event for those of you in South Florida. We are Atlassian champions. And so that's why I got to go to the conference. So more to come on that. We'll definitely be inviting the PMI folks to that.
We will definitely.
Yes, absolutely. So I want to open it up a little bit for questions. It could be anything. If any of you have any questions for Marilyn, let's have a great conversation, please.
Hello, everybody. My name is Hadris Vici. Excellent meeting. Thank you for calling my name several times. Sincerely, I have to say, like the meeting we have last week, we have a great meeting with South Florida PMI and an excellent panelist. We talk about A agents, right? And how A agents can help project management. And I have to go back a little bit, and I have to say that this is more on the shift in mindset, right? You have to shift first. The other thing is you have to learn from the basic. And I'm also a faculty member as Marilyn. I'm a professor at FIU, so I always try to teach my students to learn from the beginning. It says that you need to have the concepts in AI and go from there, right? So you have to create a roadmap and be sure for the next 90 days, 180 days, you've been touching and see what it is. Because if you go directly to, for example, ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, you're going to make mistakes. And for sure, your prompt is not going to be the best. So learning from the basic, learning the how to do real prompts, is going to help you. We need to understand that a PM is not it's not become a data scientist, right? A PM is have a real specific job that is going to help stakeholders, functional managers, and by itself is going to help how teams are going to work. And with the help of AI, remember AI is going to be something else that you need to get better and faster, and you're going to have that. And always, I said, the human touches have to be there. Because if it is a mistake, who's going to be responsible for that? So the human touch is the PM. The PM is the one who's going to say, hey, 1 second. Because if we let the AI go forever, that mistake is going to multiply. So you don't want that. That's my little touch right here.
Okay. Thank you so much, Edrich.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have a question in the chat, I think from Terrence. Do you want us to read it or do you want to share?
Hello. I don't mind reading or sharing.
Okay,
My camera is just not working right now.
no worries.
Okay. So yes, I'm listening to everything and I am astonished, amazed by the extraordinary I'm astonished and amazed by the extraordinary why am I drawing a blank right now? So sorry.
That's okay.
But anyways, my thing is though, I'm listening and I love everything I'm hearing. Regina, you have been a support for me, and then on top of that, um, everyone else actually in this group has been a support for me too. So the thing is, I'm moving on to is I would like to know how to, I guess, I don't create AI slop. And I have created something extraordinary, and I'd love to show my skills, but I want to know how do you go about showing your skills off in this environment? I mean, is that coming off right? Did I say it correctly? Are you understand what I'm saying?
That is interesting you said that. So let me tell you, I have a friend. We have been very close, become very close. It's because we have the same journey, and then we like to talk, right? And he said,
Mhm.
"Oh, let me show you what I have." So he showed me. I'm going to go back to fitness. I always dream to have as a developer, I want to develop something for people on the phone to keep track of their food without, without losing their mind or using their my fitness pal, you pay a fee, right? So he showed me, and within probably an hour, I was able to develop using AI. I can send that to you. Can use it to keep track your food intake because I'm also a nutrition coach as a side job. So I send it to my client.
Like her number 12 job.
So I send it to my
Okay.
client. So why don't you use that to keep track of
Uh-huh.
food? So that might be a good idea, right? You have some skills. Say, hey, I want to let you try and have them try for free, get them feedback, and they will know your skills. And they say, oh, I need to hire Terrence to do this. And I know
So,
Maria, go ahead, sorry.
so Marilyn, yes. Um, okay, so I agree with you there, right? And I think I'm about 10 steps ahead of you, and I probably wasn't so clear on what I was trying to get across. I dropped the link inside the chat, and I've built so many extraordinary things for free. Um,
Mm.
and actually not even just I've done so many things from the logo of the shirts you see on the family you see there, from the actual website, from the actual event, a full-fledged project manager from the hotel, from the travel itinerary, the planning out for both days and nights, the activities, the games. That's just one of the things I've already done, right? And I'm currently now we're in the landing phase. We're in the last sprint of this project. The event actually is over, so I'm getting ready to send out some surveys. And that's the part, Marilyn, you were just talking about, right? Get them to try the stuff for free and then give us some feedback. So I built all that with AI. I've built all that with AI. Check it out later on.
Okay.
And then what I'm saying is though, actually, Regina, you came to one of the events. I was a project manager too with
That's
AI
it.
at Fort Lauderdale. So Marilyn, you do so much. I even have a website. I have an app. I have a
Send it to me, and I can be a champion to tell people about. I have many friends on the LinkedIn. I will be happy to share. I have a student actually. He is here. They have a if they found an AI a tool that you can use your camera
uh-huh.
to the idea is this they are in develop they have an agent that can detect the cells or whatever they are looking at it. And so the goal is to incorporate and working with the medical field that if there's a cancer cell, they can use their
Oh.
their AI to detect really the anomaly. And I thought that's interesting. So I told my students, make sure you post it on the LinkedIn and tell people about it. If somebody say, would you like to share this? Always raise your hand. Yes, raise your hand, everything they ask. No, you do that. And then you're sharing now, right now, right? That would be an excellent idea to let people know. And within that 20 something people will be able to know your product. And I will definitely share.
And she
Oh,
just said,
all
I
right.
will, Terrence. She
Oh,
just said, I
I
will.
will. Oh, I
I'm
will. I
dropping the mic on that
will.
one.
Woo. All
And
right.
that's how
Well,
we help
yes.
each other, right?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me see. All right. Open for questions. More questions, please.
I have one.
Yes, Brittany.
So, I was affected in the massive tech layoff of Portland, where a lot of us have been laid off. But prior to that, I had been starting to pivot into the project management Scrum Master field. And earlier on, you'd mentioned that places like Google and other companies are making a hybrid of kind of a tech project manager position. What are those being called, or what skills would you recommend diving into in this new emerging field?
Okay, that's a great question. I'm gonna call, what is it called? I'm gonna call a lifeline because I don't remember the name right now, but Anu is on the line. And Anu, if you don't mind, what is the name of the role? What is the name of the role?
The FDPE, it's called Forward Deployed Product Engineer.
And DPE, Brittany.
F
Forward deployed product engineer.
or deploy. Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then if I just
Okay.
go ahead and Google that, it'll send me down that rabbit hole.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
I would also suggest you look up FDE, Forward Deployed Engineer. These are people transitioning from the developer side, but people who are in the product space or the project space, people look it up from FDPE roles. This is the amalgamation of both the product and the engineers that Regina was talking before.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
That's
And the
that's
other
the
one,
role.
and the other one that I'm hearing is performance engineering.
I heard.
Performance engineering. That's the role, the one that Anu was talking about, Brittany, that I was referring to before. Kind of like the orchestrator human, right? But more to come. Stay in our community. I know that Anu actually works for a company that is going to be doing a certification on that role coming up
Yeah.
really soon by the time frame of August. It's called Resumix. Okay, so if you want to look them up, save that website, they're going to start doing those certifications. And again, my question when I first heard about it, I'm like, whoa, what background do you have to have? Do you have to have the more technical background or the more product background? Our understanding is like if it's the FDPE, is more like a hybrid, a little bit of both, which is
And
pretty
the
exciting.
other, yeah, and the other certification that is out there right now is the project management artificial intelligence in certification. I don't think you need to have too much background to get that certification. I think the methodology they're using there is very well put.
It's called CPMAI, and you know who is
C-
taking the exam.
Okay, but that's a PMI certification, right? Okay.
Yes, it
It's
is.
more, yeah,
Okay.
It's very the framework is very nice.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much, guys. Let's see. That was a really good question, Brittany. I hope we gave you some good answers there.
That was brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Anu. You're my lifeline. Thank you.
We can always call her.
Yes.
Well, now I do have a question for Marilyn.
Uh-huh.
Marilyn, of all the hats you wear, right, like being a trainer, being the project management expert, and all that, I started recently strength training too. So the question here is, if you are a trainer, how do you see the transition? Like AI, I know people who do the skill training, like the human in the loop, as they call it. Like if you are the trainer, there's no way AI is going to intervene there, because I can look at 1,000 YouTube videos and I can do it, but I'm not motivated enough unless I have somebody tell me online or at least in person to do some things and correct the form if I'm doing mistakes, right? So where do you see the progression in this related to all the white collar jobs that people have, as to so to say the product engineers or the project managers with AI?
So you're thinking about how how AI can help the trainer, or how it's going to change the role of the
So,
trainer, how they.
right, like we always talk about AI not taking jobs, especially I see like when people are training in person, or it's not a white collar job, so to say, right? Like if it's not a knowledge based job, but looks like, people at airports, they say like, the cleaning jobs are all, it's better if, if AI takes over because that's a good thing to do. But if it is like a coach, like for you, how do you see the transition? Because project managers, do you think they will still exist, versus the trainers who are going to, is it better if I want to if I want to do a transformation, if I want to change where I want to go in the future, is it better if I do something like this? You think there'll be jobs if I want to become a fitness trainer? Maybe that's my
Of
question
course.
to you.
So let me tell you something. Do you remember the COVID time?
Sorry.
Well, when COVID, during the COVID,
Yes, yeah.
right? Everybody was like, oh, the gym closed.
Right.
Imagine that. Closed. And all our instructor like me go home. And then we start having, some of us very creative. We do virtual. Virtual Zumba, virtual Pilates and all that, right? But did you know the moment the gym opened, how many people actually swarm to the gym because they want personal contact?
Right.
And that is so true what you said. Did you think AI could be able to, if I just imagine I'm your AI and you are doing the weight training and you do a deadlift, did you think AI is going to say, I should make sure you squeeze your glutes or soften your knees and chest up, and make sure you barbell touch your knee, don't go too low. Be careful your back, right? So only the trainer's physical touch can do, the personal trainer can do that. I thought AI is going to, and then if you feel like you're dying, did you think AI is going to say, relax your face? You don't want to have a wrinkles and have muscle. Awesome muscle with a wrinkle face. Trust me, that's not going to happen.
I'm thinking of building an AI agent that'll force me to wake up early. I will scream at me. Go work out. That's it.
Personal trainers, even the instructors, I think they will still exist because people still love that personal, and also the community. Sometimes you go to the gym not because you, right? Because Regina is a man. How come you did not show up yesterday in the Zumba class? And, right, and somebody's going to keep you accountable. So I think that is not going to change. And may I say something? You might be surprised. I've been teaching chair yogas. Those people are like 60, 70, 80, 90.
Oh, the chair yoga. Yeah.
And do you know, every class is all packed. And they wonder, what can they do at home and do chair? And they love the personal connection, chit-chatting. How are you? And you can see some of them had to use the wheelchair, not to say that was right. But I'm so happy that they actually liked each other and keep each other company in the gym, because it's a social and good for your mental health too.
Right. Brilliant. Love that. And Regina, you were saying that you needed a agent to wake you up in the morning. There are watches that'll actually shock you to wake you up. So maybe you should try that first.
I think that's an app that I can download to my Apple Watch. Oh my God.
Thank you, Marilyn.
You might be getting me that for my birthday, Anu.
And to add up to Terrence, just said, if you want me to help you for free consultation, call me.
Absolutely. All right, guys. What else? What other questions do we have out there?
It's more of a comment than anything else. And thank you, ladies, for this. I love what you guys are talking about. If you're not talking about AI, I don't know what we're talking about, right? It's not going away, but it's not taking away your role as a project manager, but it will if you don't put the effort to learn, right?
Yes.
So it's about embracing all that this is, right? And thinking big, thinking outside the box, but then starting small and making those incremental changes. The whole fail fast methodology, I am definitely a fan of, right? We have to try it. I believe from a project management standpoint, is we have to think about doing things differently because we've learned to be structured. We have a framework and we need to utilize or should think about utilizing AI where we can manage by the exception, right? As opposed to you utilize the AI to assist you. One of the areas that I think there's always for me, having led PMOs, oversee PMOs, risk management is one of those areas that's always a challenge, and we don't think about it enough. That is a great area to kind of utilize and partner with AI, right? And then, of course, you can't just willy-nilly. Folks know there's so much out there now that your leadership team knows and others know when you're using AI. So you have to be able to utilize it as a team member, right? And
Yes.
you have to be able to assess the sensibility of it. Does this make sense? Does it align to what we are here to do? All of the above, right? So I would say instead of shying away from it or ignoring it, is embracing it where it makes sense and think about it as I love what you talk about as a team member. There are things that it can do that we cannot in a timely fashion, but there's things that it can't do, right? The sensibility of that humanness and bringing together that, right? You were able to assess the situation and knowing how to navigate. But I'm still learning, but I love the conversation and enjoy topics such as this because as project managers, we just need to learn how to do things a little differently and think outside the box. Embrace change. Change is a good thing.
Good thing.
It's a thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa.
Beautifully put. Shay, did you want to add to what she was saying?
Yeah. We've seen right now, many of us have been left to our own devices to play with AI, right? Whatever our companies have, we can work with that. And some are just kind of doing our own skunk works. But one thing we have been seeing is the cost of AI is suddenly coming to the companies, and we might actually not see as much ability to experiment. We might have to, like every other type of resource or capacity planning, plan for how much we're actually going to use AI because
Yeah.
now it might become a more expensive team member.
Mm-hmm.
So those are things to consider. The economics of using AI will shift on us as well. But
No,
even
thank you
using
for.
it, yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's also not it's not the most consistent player on your team. You run one set of a prompt, you get an answer, you ask it to do it again, and the answer is a bit different. So that consistency doesn't exist there yet, and that's where we definitely still add value is, consistency because it's important for teams to have consistency.
I love it.
And may I say something about using AI? I think I make a statement about to start with what is the problem, right? The CPMAI, the PMI, the certification that I'm actually studying, I'm almost so close to get my exam, is the one thing it says is what is the business value?
Mm-hmm.
What are the return of investment? what are the matrix? What does the success look like before you start spend a lot of money using AI, right? If there's no business value, if we can do automation, we don't really need AI, right? So the cost will be smaller. And you are correct, Shay. It's very expensive to use AI and then more and more. But we need to know why we are using it and what is the value. And start with a small one like this as a small step.
But if I want to add to that, because there's some recent studies that are coming up on the amount of tokens that are being utilized. Okay. Individually, I'm being hit by that because I'm in like 3 different LLMs and now I'm in a bunch of apps where I have to pay monthly. But organizations, to your point, that's going to add up. So now it's going to be the cost of tokenization, which is going to go into our capacity planning. You said it, you hit it on the dot, and it's going to hit the financials. Because now if you have those AI agents on your team that are assisting, maybe 2 or 3, put that cost against the human cost of the hourly rate, that's going to be a whole different type of financial analysis that we're going to have to do, not just across projects, but in departments and across enterprise organizations. So that's a really good conversation that we have to continue to focus on.
Yeah, very true.
I love it. To Lisa's point, I love it, but I know a lot of people are overwhelmed. Like, oh my God, there's so much to learn. Where do I start? So I love on the personal side, and even in your personal job, like focus on a small problem to solve, and then be like, okay, I can bring in AI to help me with this small problem and start from there. And then you start learning, okay, how to implement that, etc. Miriam, you have your hand up.
Miriam, did you think AI can help you in the construction business? Miriam?
Oh, is she still?
I'm here.
Okay.
Oh, there you are.
Let me pop in.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I actually wrote down I will build AI. Actually, I have actually jumped in with both feet and embraced AI. And I want to actually write an actual SOP that I use to generate cost certainty for my client in building construction projects.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
And I've actually come up with a system where I can actually apply factors to do construction in different countries.
Very good.
So Miriam, you need to give a speech in our club.
That sounds like a
I can
presentation.
certainly do that.
Yeah, do that, please.
And
That
I
would be
also will be using it to study for my certified construction manager exam this summer.
Oh, why? They probably only have 600 people pass it. You'll be 601.
Amazing.
Oh, this is actually the CMAA. I'll eventually go back and do the PMI one.
Oh, you don't want to do that. Oh, you will do it, or you are not doing that.
This one has more of a cost benefit.
Oh, okay, of course.
Awesome. Thank you, Miriam. I think Sheila, you have a question?
Yeah, I have a couple. The first one is, has anybody started to see anything about that you need to have experience with any specific AI? Because I know different ones are used in different companies and they have different strengths. And I don't know whether at this point they're still asking for any experience with AI or if they're looking for something specific.
Well,
So, go ahead.
may
Go ahead.
I?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay. I have to say that I guess you need to learn different language large models, right? Not only one specific model. Like for example, if you get an interview, people is going to tell you, or if you're going to create AI agents, you may use 5 of them at the same time because you want to get the best answer from those models. What it is you need to learn each one of them. Don't get crazy. Just learn how to use it, how to get the right prompt, like ChatGPT or Claude or Croc or Gemini, right? And then you have Copilot, or you have other tools that you can use to get answers and results, outputs. And then you can show the interviewer, right, that you know how to use the AI tools. Because if you are specific only working, for example, with ChatGPT, you maybe you don't have extra tools that you can use to code, or for example, to create different images, or matrix or tables, right? So using Croc, or Gemini, or Claude is a help, right? So the other thing I wanted to say is some metrics that I did on the last AI Revolution conference, on my meeting. I said that why AI adoption is no longer optional for competitive organizations, right? And we have to say that for there's going to be a $15.7 trillion contribution on the global economy by 2030. So
Wow.
that's a lot compared to now, right? And the other thing is, as of right now, we have $4.4 trillion annual value in generative AI across 63 use cases. So imagine in 2030, right? So this is good to know.
Awesome. Sheila, did that answer your question? We also put some information in the chat as well.
I didn't look at the chat while I was listening.
Okay.
So the other question is, how much do you trust the results that you get from these different AIs? Because I know that if you give them instructions, unless you keep repeating the instructions, they forget and they deviate. Like one of my friends was fussing that she'd wasted a bunch of, well, she told the AI not to write any new code, reuse what was there. And after a while, it forgot and started writing new inefficient code and made a mess of things. And
Yes.
apparently that's a common problem. And so I wonder, how much do you trust them, and how much do you even trust that they're not making things up if you're using them for these different functions that we're talking about that are, yeah, you can treat them like a junior person to do some kind of analysis and to gather facts. And hopefully, if you're talking about figures, they won't mess up the figures if they're getting them from an existing source. But how much fact checking do you have to do with them? Has anybody had enough experience to figure out what level of confidence you should have in any of them? And does it vary from one to another?
Sure. I'm sorry to interrupt again. I have to say that the tool have some difficulties, right? So you need to trust the tool 70%. And because there is something called hallucination, right? That it's going to give you an answer, and it's going to look so good that you're going to say, oh my God, I got the right answer. Nope. You have to verify the answer. Sometimes if you're getting summary for an article, you have to tell the tool, okay, give me the summary, give me the author, give me the dates, give me the link for that article so I can verify. And then that 30% of that output, you have to be yourself reviewing that. So to be sure that you have the right answer. Because, for example, if you're using the tool on the medical healthcare area, you don't want to trust 100% the tool, right? Or I have to check some patient because the patient has some kidney disease, and I need to have a treatment. And if the tool give you an answer, and then you say, "Oh, this is the right answer," maybe the patient is gonna die, right? So you need to review the process. I always say, trust the process, but
Yes.
review it. And after you review it 100 times, you could say, okay, it's good. Also, when you get those summary, you have to tell the tool how to write that summary. Because if you tell the tool, could you please give me the answer as a Shakespeare? Maybe you're gonna have a so beautiful answer that that's not you, right? So you need to get the tool, review it, and get that information so you can write your own information, and it's gonna be you.
And if I may I add something?
Go ahead, please.
So I agree with everything Doctor just said. However, the caution I have is AI is one of the smartest, dumbest tools we have at our disposal, right?
Yep.
So, and I use that lightly because with that being said, it's so smart, you have to really guide and direct it guardrails. So yes, it will hallucinate, but after a while, it does something called drifting. And
Data
drift,
drift, model
you
drift.
know,
Yes, yes.
and you have to watch it. So for
Yep.
me, I have because I have found myself trusting it 70% and then having to verify that 30% and then finding, in my mind, I think AI is perfect. At least that's just the way they sold it to us. So, for me now, in order for me to keep tracking, I just verify everything and I give it guardrails. But with that being said, I like to speak to it with the end in mind. And some of those guardrails are, like the doctor said, provide me your sources, don't agree with me. And then I actually found something on YouTube about utilizing the five advisors. So the contrarian, the judge, the nice, I forget the title. You can name them like Marion said. But it's five of them. And when you plug those into your skill or your instruction base and you're reminded of those kinds of things, it does help to solidify you, but you're always going to have to verify.
Yeah, remember these models were created to agree with you guys and to be friendly. And then when you see the output, you say, "Oh my God, this is great." So be careful.
Oh my goodness. All right, guys, we're coming to the end of this session. This was amazing. Marilyn, you're incredible. And
You are incredible.
it's been a pleasure. Finally, I've been trying to get her on a podcast for almost 2 years now. And also to learn so much about her that I personally did not know. But all of you have been amazing online. Here's what we want to do, and here's how we close. Before anybody leaves, don't go anywhere. We actually like to take a snapshot. If you guys don't mind turning on your pictures, because we want to post on social media. And then give a shout out to Marilyn, please. International Woman in Leadership. Please follow us. And then, so I think I have Josue. Josue, you're going to help me take a picture?
Yes.
Okay, if you guys can turn on your cameras. Okay, and while we're doing this, I want you to think about your I will statement for this week. Okay, if you were inspired by something that we said, if you thought about something personal that you want to accomplish, I will, you're gonna do this, right? And we're here to support you. We're here to learn together and to help each other out and to help answer any questions that we can. But it's a supporting community. International Women in Leadership, please follow us and come to our next events. We're going to do more virtual. We're also personal here in person in Miami. So we'll try to do a hybrid of a lot of different events as well. But if you're ready, let's do for the picture, a sign for Marilyn. I'm going to do this because I want to give her like a shout out with a heart. And then Josué, if you can count to 3 and take a picture, that'd be great. I think you have to take a couple of them, right? Because you got different screens.
Yeah, no, just one. Just one.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Great.
And
Oh,
one thing
my
I like
heart was
about
cut off.
AI is, sorry?
My heart was cut off. I didn't realize my heart wasn't in the photo. It was that right here.
Oh, okay, let's do one more. Let's do one more. Okay, there you go.
3, 1. Everyone ready? Okay, 1, 2, and 3.
Awesome. So, transformation experts on LinkedIn, International Women in Leadership. If you guys can follow, we're going to be posting this. Please share, put your comments, forward to your friends. And we're going to tag Marilyn.
Thank you so much for joining us.
All right. Anybody want to say their I will statement? Anybody want to share? What's an I will statement for this week that you guys want to share?
AI is here to stay.
That's what I will. You're here to stay. How about that? I will, because I'm here to stay. Let's see. I think Miriam, you said I will build AI. That was yours. Anybody else want to share? Shay, you want to share an I will statement?
I will look up those titles that you mentioned earlier to see how they fit together. But our stock in trade is transformation. So it doesn't matter if it's Agile, Scrum, AI, or some other thing that will come flying at us before we know it. But this has been a great session. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for sharing. Let's see. Wendy, do you have an I will statement?
Yes, I actually do. And I really love this. And you guys have me, while you're talking, you have me rethinking, like, yeah, I need to think of different ways on the work that I do and how to bring AI into it and not just be like, well, how to use AI. Well, I do know how to use it, but even mature the way I'm using it. So I will bring AI into what I do, to regularly be a part of my day-to-day activities, whether it's for my client or for myself. I will be using it more.
Awesome. Thank you. Anu?
Yes, I wanted to say that I will always trust the human in the loop first before I trust AI.
Good.
I like that. I like that. See, anybody else? Anybody else?
Yeah, I'll go. I think my statement for this week is I will continue making my contribution to the field. And I think one of the contributions that I am expanding on is moving beyond just thinking about a human in the loop to leadership in the loop, because we have to transform the system in order to accommodate the ways we are using AI. And that requires an entirely different mindset and ways we look at the system. So I will continue making my contribution in the field beyond the human in the loop to leadership in the loop.
Very good.
Very good.
See,
Thank
thank
you
you.
for sharing.
All right, all right. All right. Thank you all
Thank you,
very
everybody.
much. Thank you, Marilyn.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you
Yes.
for joining. And stay tuned for next.